Welcome to a sunny and warm Knockhill racing circuit for the final round of the 2012 Scottish Formula 4 Championship. Race 1 is lined up behind me in the holding bay. Championship all up for grabs. Ross McEwen in the number 74 car is trailing Ali Dow, who lines up second on the grid in the number 70 machine by 20 points. It's all to play for today. In qualifying, just 4 tenths between the top 4. This is going to be a cracking race. I'll hand it to Richard and he'll take you through the full starting order.
Thanks, Joe. Welcome along, everybody, to the final meeting of the 2012 season, the Scottish Formula 4 1600 Championship. And it's Ross McEwen, as Joe said, on pole, alongside Championship leader Ali Dow, Jordan Gronkowski on the inside of row 2 with Ian Munro next to him. Then it's Mikey Gray and Craig Brunton having another appearance. Stuart Thorburn and Matt Chisholm on the 4th row of the grid. Then Scott Hines and Ivor Mares, Greg Stark completing the grid after a disqualification in qualifying. Didn't pass the ride height check, car 73, so nothing more sinister than that. And he's got a little bit of work to do, so keep your eyes on the green Van Diemen with the red nose coming through from the back of the field. Lights are already on here at Knockhill Circuit, the penultimate race of the season, round 11 of the 2012 Scottish Formula 4 Championship. McEwen and Dow, let battle commence here as they head down the hill for the first time. It looks like a good start, clean start by everybody. Well, we've seen some superb Formula 4 action this year. There is Stuart Thorburn, the Blue 5, welcome returnee to the championship. Class B champion in 1998 and third in the championship that year when he raced a Van Diemen RF at 81. And good to see him. And this is the view from Craig Brunton. Craig out for his second meeting of the year. He was with us back in August, and nice to see him back in harness. And as you can see, enjoying the dry circuit here, blue skies, ideal racing conditions for this time of year. Very, very lucky with the weather so far this year. Let's hope the weather holds out today. Cars coming down into the hairpin for the first time, and it's Ross McEwen leading. Ali Dow goes wide. More of a racing line than a speculative look. Jordan Gronkowski is third in red and white. The white car is Ian Munro. Now, if Ian had done a full season, he'd be well on the shout of a championship. As it is, he's just done 3 of the 6 outings so far. And Craig Brunton coming under pressure there side by side with Mikey Gray. Still at the back of the field, you saw Greg Stark going through, green with the red nose we mentioned, hoping to make a little bit of progress. The qualifying lap time today, Ross McEwen's 55.710, Ali Dow 55.714. Very little between it, and you can see that that's playing out on circuit now. The two of them, nothing between them as they go through Carloop for the second time. So this is a 12-lap race and all to play for. In terms of the championship, again, as Joe said, 20 points between Ali Dow and Ross McEwen. A non-finish would negate 20 or 25 points as Ian Munro goes up into third place in the white 43 car. So Jordan Gronkowski down to 4th place. He still leads the Newcomers class. The drivers that he's racing against in the Newcomers Cup, Greg Stark, who is 21 points behind at the moment, 25 points for a win. Paul Kopech not racing today, he's third. Matt Chisholm 4th, he is racing, he's on 101, not that far behind actually, Paul Kopech. Matt Chisholm, so Matt should take third in the Newcomers Cup this year. The other competitor in Newcomers is Andrew Brennan. But the race leaders going through Carloop again, and it's Ross McEwen showing the way at the moment. We see plenty of overtaking this year for sure in Formula 4, so if there is an advantage to be had, a mistake to be made, then we will see some passing, but certainly on qualifying form, the two cars very close, and Craig Brunton coming down the inside of Jordan Gronkowski, and he's through. What a brilliant manoeuvre, what a great pass on Gronkowski from last year's champion of racecraft from the pair of them. Mikey Gray, well, he could have got dirty, he could have blocked, but he didn't. Instead, he chooses to fight back when the opportunity presents itself. So Mikey's having a go. The Vector chassis down the hill, and he looks like he's got the speed. These two look very evenly matched, you've got to say. Into Scotsman. Gronkowski setting fastest lap, and that's a 55.721. Now, of course, obviously race times are generally a little bit slower than qualifying, but that would have put Jordan in third place on the grid where he was, and that shows just what a consistent driver Jordan Gronkowski is. Race leaders through. There's Craig Brunton. You can see on the roll hoop, it's got the camera and giving us some wonderful onboard shots. Mikey's got one too. on the Vector. Most of the cars are the Norfolk-built Van Diemen chassis, and very pleased to say that the Formula Ford, in a slightly different form, moving on to the touring car package for 2013. They're going to be running in the EcoBoost Formula Fords with slicks and wings, and I think the cars look wonderful. It's really good to see Formula Ford back on the TOCA package. It's going to bring a lot of good young drivers in front of a very big audience. So still out front, Ross McEwen, he's hanging on to this one at the moment from Ali Dow. They're both going to be thinking about championships. Ali Dow, I suppose there is always the temptation to have a lunge, and maybe that temptation is the sort of thing that happens earlier or the midway point of the season, but when there's just 20 points in it, well, he's getting closer and having an attack, and one wonders whether Ross McEwen might try and back him up and think about going into the fight, although I've got a feeling Ross is just going to want to drive away with it. Here he comes up over the hill again, still Ali Dow in second place. Ian Munro trying to keep in touch with them, but just a little bit shy. Ian's lap times at the moment away from the top two. Now watch McEwen here, he doesn't take the optimum line, but he's not far away from it, so he's slightly defensive, and you can see why, because coming up now, Ali Dow has really got himself under the gearbox of the car in front and is pressuring hard for the lead. Let's watch in terms of technique, does what Jordan Gronkowski did earlier on, looks at the inside line to Carlin. He was actually looking for the pass there rather than perhaps selling a dummy. We saw Gronkowski move to the outside line and take a fast sweeper through there and use the momentum to go into his lops where the cars were a few seconds ago. Now coming down into the hairpin, back on the outside line. So slightly different race tactics being employed here, and a little mistake there from Dow as he gets the rear wheels out onto the dirt. That might lose him a little bit of momentum, but it's not enough to put him out of the hunt, and certainly not enough to throw him down into the path of Ian Munro. So this the penultimate race of the year. Ali Dow, the championship leader, car number 70. He's had 2 wins so far. He's only been off the podium in terms of race finishes once. That was a 5th place in our last meeting where he also got fastest lap. Dow, though, has had 2 pole positions, 6 fastest laps this year. So statistically, looking at that, you've got to say probably the favourite for the championship. They're now coming up on Greg Stark, who I think is going to be lapped. Shouldn't be a problem for Ross McEwen, effectively his teammate there. Sticks to the inside line as they come up to the hairpin, slows down enough so that they get past cleanly. And now Dow again looks at the inside line. That's not the racing speed, that was very definitely a manoeuvre, and this time kicking up the dirt. It's Ross McEwen as they come up the hill and pick up the last lap board. Ian Munro still in third. Munro is faster than the pair in front now, he's catching them. The 43 car has just put in a 55.92. He's marginally quicker, it's not going to be enough, I don't think, to reel them in on this last lap. Round 11 of the championship. At the moment it looks like it's going to go to the man who set pole position time, Ross McEwen. He's slightly the faster on best lap than Ali Dow. He's maintained the form that he had in qualifying, and here they come up to Carluke for the last time. What can Ali Dow do here? Dow trying everything. He really has put the pressure on right the way through the race, but McEwen, fair play to him, has soaked it up. It's been a real good game of cat and mouse between the two, and here they come down into the hairpin for the last time. McEwen taking the tighter line, that's the defensive line. It'll probably be slightly slower, but there was almost a hint of a lock up there, a hint of sideways motion from Ali Dow as he went into the hairpin, but it's Ross McEwen that's going to take the win. McEwen takes it. Third across the line is Ian Munro, but Ross McEwen in 74 takes his 3rd win of the year. He's actually got more now than Ali Dow. Let's take a look at the official result then, the penultimate race of the year. Ross McEwen takes the win, Ali Dow in 2nd place from Ian Munro, and Craig Brunton in 4th. Jordan Gronkowski takes 5th place ahead of Mikey Gray. 6th was Stuart Thorburn from Ivor Mayer, Scott Hines 9th, Matthew Chisholm in 10th, and Greg Stark in 11th. Fastest lap to Jordan Gronkowski.
The winner, Ross McEwen, I can't remember how many wins this year, but it's certainly been a healthy amount, and it closes you this time to 15 points in my rough guess, championship-wise.
Yeah, great result. You know, obviously the best result we could have got, and everything is really on the last race now, and car felt good, team did a great job putting together, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting stuck in off pole from the last race.
Absolutely, 15 points from Ali's point of view. He can kind of sit comfortable in 2nd or 3rd or even 4th place and still win the championship. But as we've seen this year, things in Formula Ford, especially in Scotland, haven't been that straightforward, have they? Anything could still happen.
Exactly, anything could happen. So we'll see what does happen.
Any nerves?
Now I'll just see what happens.
One day at a time, well done. Alistair Dow playing a safe second place in my book. The alley at the start of the year would have had a big punt at that, but the championship's on the line. He has closed it in my rough maths to around about 15 points with just one race to go. It's all still to play for.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, anything can happen. And
as we've seen this year, I said this to Ross, we've seen so many random things happening in Formula Ford in Scotland this year, so it's not done by any stretch of the imagination.
No, absolutely not. I mean, you can't get too confident. There's a lot of good drivers out there, and you know, hopefully in the next race, last race, we can bring it home and be on top.
That's the plan. Well done, Ali. I'll let you go.
Cheers, thanks, Joe.
And third place for the returning Ian Munro. Ian, we saw some dominant wins and some mega pace earlier in the year. You've been away again, but you're back for the final round.
Yeah, it was a good race there. Shame I lost a wee bit off the front two at the start, and I was all the way through. I was just trying to nibble away at it, but didn't quite get with them.
It wasn't far off. When they started to fight, I could see you coming.
I was like, go on, have a stab. Go on, have a wee stab so I can get up with you. So at least I should be right there in the next race.
That's exactly what they don't need when they're fighting out for this championship, is it? Someone like you coming along and sticking your nose in, but that's what it's about.
Yeah, I'm up for a good dice in the next race, so hopefully I can keep with them for the start.
Any problems with the car? So you fiddling with the back of it?
I lost that back anti-roll bar, but to be honest, I don't really think. We tried playing about with them yesterday. It didn't make any difference yesterday, so I doubt it, to be honest, made much difference. But we'll fix that for the next one.
Good stuff. Let's see you at the front mixing it up in the last one.
Yeah, hopefully. Cheers.
Welcome to another episode of Racing No Filter. Joining me in sunny California, Bill Wood, and down in sunny Florida, Peter King.
We're going to take a look at some of the products HPD has created for the 2012 Honda Civic, and specifically we're going to show you how to install an adjustable sway bar.
Until then, folks out there, you take care.
Want to keep up with all the racing action at the track? Well, download the new Go Racing TV iPhone and Android app. And remember to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Battle about to commence for the last time in the 2012 season. The Scottish Formula Ford Championship. Ross McEwen on pole with Ali Dow alongside. Then Ian Munro and Craig Brunton. Mikey Gray and Jordan Gronkowski on row 3. Stuart Thorburn and Ivor Mayers row 4. Grid completed by Scott Hines, Matthew Chisholm and Greg Stark. So Newcomers Championship secured by Jordan Gronkowski, just 25 points available in this race, so congratulations to Jordan. But it's Ali Dow who's challenging for the championship and lining up P2. 2 lights on, the last time. Let battle commence for the championship. This is what we want to see. Last race secured championship win. That's always the best way to do it. Great start by Ross McEwen, but what's happened to Ali Dow? Has he broken down? He's still running, but Ali Dow's got a problem. The number 70 car finds himself way back. There's Mikey Gray in 19. Didn't look like a particularly great start from Jordan Gronkowski. He's down behind Scott Hines. Now Ali Dow is going now, and there's a lock-up from Stuart Thorburn in blue, and Dow looking down the inside to come out of Scotsman corner. So Ali Dow, the championship leader. Well, was that mechanical? Will it manifest itself again? Was it a driver error? Well, I think the nerves will probably be jangling for sure. And this last meeting, Thorburn locks up, goes a little bit wide. Ali Dow goes through on the inside. What a cracking start and a very dramatic start. And look at this, it's Ross McEwen away, but then to second place comes Craig Brunton. Wow, what a pass by Craig Brunton on Ian Munro into second place. Third is Munro, fourth position. Mikey Gray up into fifth. Well, one place to the good of where he was as they went down the hill is Ali Dow. Now, championship-wise, the gap between Dow and McEwen, 17 points as they come into this race. Now, that's going to be reduced further. Ali Dow, we would expect to make further progress. So we won't start counting the points just yet, because Dow should be able to climb a little bit further up the order. And at the moment, we're looking at the scrap for second place, which is led by Craig Brunton from Ian Munro. Mikey Gray down behind him. Then Ali Dow, championship leader, followed by Jordan Gronkowski. Then Scott Hines. Through Carloop they go. This is the last race of the season. Wonderful weather here, and Ross McEwen really making the most of it and getting away. Here we come down into the hairpin again, side by side. Craig Brunton Monroe having a bit of a challenge there. Mikey Gray ready to pick up some pieces as well. And that was very well read by Mikey Gray. Saw Monroe going wide and took the opportunity to place his car in the gap on the inside, and he's climbing up the hill now, and this could benefit Ali Dow as well. It's a four-way scrap in Scottish FF 1600. This is what Formula 4's all about, and Mikey Gray has gone through. Mikey Gray's through into third place. Ali Dow's trying to challenge Ian Monroe, looks down the inside line as they come into Scotsman corner, and Dow's up into fourth. Great drive by Ali Dow, he's back. Ian Monroe is there, Jordan Gronkowski down behind him as well. This is brilliant stuff. So, Ali Dow third in. Oh, there's a challenge back on Dow because Ian Monroe's going on the inside line. He's back through into fourth place. So Ali Dow finds himself down in fifth. If he thought the charge through the field was going to be easy, it's anything but, because Jordan Gronkowski is coming up as well. The red and white car down behind them. Stuart Thorburn, Scott Hines in the background, but into the hairpin they come. Craig Brunton getting away at the moment in second place, and Ali Dow is going to be very frustrated here. I hope he's good at mental arithmetic. He'll probably know where he's got to finish if Ross McEwen wins, but at the moment in fifth place, that's going to be 12 points. So 12 points plus 184 that he carries through from the first race will take him on to 196, and Ross McEwen will be on 192. So at the moment, Ali Dow is champion if things stay the way they are by 4 points, but I don't think they're going to stay that way, because look at this scrap that we've got as they come through the chicane. All three of these cars very much involved in the mix. Jordan Gronkowski, remember, fastest lap in race number 1, so he knows he's got the race pace over Ali Dow. Mikey Gray, lovely manoeuvre to get him up into third place, and this driver really doing so well. Son of Stuart Gray, who works up here at Knockhill. Into the hairpin they go. Now Ali Dow could really do without Jordan Gronkowski behind him, because he's got to be defensive. He really has got to work hard here. He wants to be able to attack, but if he loses another place, it'll be another point down the Swanee. So I guess he could probably afford to lose 1 point, but he won't want to. Want to hold position, if possible, try and gain an extra place. He won't really want to secure the championship with a fourth position. It's been so close this year. There's Mikey Gray again, still chasing the second place car of Craig Brunton. Mikey, who had his first ever podium in the last round here. It was a great result for him, and he's getting better and better. We've seen the progress over the course of the season. So down towards the hairpin we go again, and Ian Monroe got his mirrors full of Dow, who looks down the inside. Ali Dow's coming through, challenging for fourth position again. Doesn't quite work. Ian Monroe carrying a bit more speed there in his Van Diemen. Dow in the Ray chassis, the South London built car, the 809 chassis. Craig Brunton in the slightly older GRS 08, only probably a few months actually between the chassis dates. But Brunton, as you can see, at the head of just going into Scotsman, the white car, followed by Mikey Gray at 19. There's Mikey in the Vector chassis. One thing I love about Formula Ford is the fact that it's not a one-make championship. There are a lot of very good one-make championships in single-seaters, but the multi-chassis Formula Ford championship, you know, if you look at F1, that's multi-chassis, so why not have the same thing in the feeder formulas? I know you tend to get a lot of the volume manufacturers like Van Diemen perhaps being dominant. That's probably the case here. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having different designs and different chassis. It's a very, very healthy aspect of motor racing to have open classes. Here we come up against the under the Beatson's Bridge, where our camera's mounted, and the race just settling down, finding its own rhythm at the moment with Ross McEwen out front. Here comes Scott Hines, who's ahead at the moment of Matt Chisholm. So Scott Hines beat him in the first race. Matt trying to get him back. Chisholm out-qualified him in practice this morning. The race leader, Ross McEwen, is away and down the road in car number 74, and it looks like he's going to be heading for another win. McEwen is going to be the driver with the most wins. It's going to be 4 wins for him this year. Of course, several drivers having won races this year. Ian Monroe's taken 3, so Ian's slot at the top of the race win table disappearing in this round. At the moment it's equal to this guy, and Ross McEwen may well, looks to me like he's going to hang on to it. Down through Duffer's Tip into Scotsman Corner once again, and he's pulling well clear. The winning margin in race number 1 over Ali Dow was margin. It was 0.2 of a second. He's pulled 2.5 seconds out already over the second place man, Craig Brunton. So Ross McEwen, very much the man on the mission. He's doing everything that he can do. The only thing perhaps that he hasn't got here is a fastest lap, but that may well come between now and the end of the race. Look at the gap that he's got. There's the second place man, Craig Brunton second, Mikey Gray running third, then that trio of cars still close together. Ian Munro with a little bit of breathing space, or is he? Because no, it closes up at the moment. The breathing space is between Ali Dow and Gronkowski, and Dow's through on the inside of Ian Munro to reclaim 4th place. What a terrific dice between those. Well, really cracking scrap from these two. And it looks like Ali Dow now will get his head down and make the progress over Ian Munro. Jordan Gronkowski is the fastest man on track again. 55.868, the fastest lap, a little bit slower than that set in race number 1. But he'll still take the fastest, if that stays, we'll take the fastest racing lap of the weekend. So that'll be a nice little fillip for Gronkowski to take away with him as Ian Munro goes back and takes 4th position. So Munro back into 4th. Gronkowski it is that's still chasing them, and this is going to benefit him if the pair are still squabbling. What can Ali Dow do? He's like a yo-yo here from 4th to 5th position. He's got his nose in front again as they come into the hairpin, but he's got the wide line. They have to turn back in, and Gronkowski's coming through. Jordan Gronkowski challenging for 5th place, and Ali Dow's going to find himself dropped down to 6th here if he's not careful. Up across the line they go again. This is absolutely superb racing, and Gronkowski, of course, in the Newcomers Cup. That's where Ali Dow was in 2009 and 2010. Dow, the champion of the Newcomers in 2010. Second in the championship last year. Ross McEwen was 5th last year, and that really does signify the progress that you can make if you stick with the championship. Here's the man that was 5th in the championship last year, Ross McEwen, and it looks like it's going to be second place for him in the points this year. A couple of disqualifications which I know the team are keen to try and get overturned. He's going to be the most successful driver in terms of wins. Well, we've said that already, but he's so far ahead of the field. So Ali Dow managed to shake off Jordan Gronkowski there, and he's back on the case of the 4th place driver Ian Munro. So Munro is being a little bit of a spoiler at the moment in the points as far as Ali Dow is concerned, and they go down Duffers once again through Leslie's and into Scotsman Corner. Second place close. Red flags now. At this stage it's Stuart Thorburn that's off in car number 5. Marshall's on the scene very quickly. I think Stuart's okay, but it's going to be red flag and the checker being shown, and that means that Ross McEwen has won his 4th race of the year. Craig Brunton takes 2nd from Mikey Gray, Ian Munro in 4th. Ali Dow is the champion though. He takes 5th from Jordan Gronkowski, who also got fastest lap. Scott Hines 7th from Matt Chisholm and Ivor Mears. A pity that the 2012 season ends under red flags, but congratulations to champion Alistair Dow.
Some great drives. You really come of age this year. You took that first win. You've taken many since. Enjoyed it?
Oh yeah, it's been a great year. It's been very, very tough. There's a lot of good competition out there. It's been a great year, a really great year. A lot of hard work from the team, and I couldn't do it without them. So thanks, guys.
Absolutely, that's Graham Brunton Racing, of course. I'll do the thank yous for you. Next season, we're going to see you back again. You've really got to grips with the Ray this year. Another season in 2013 in Formula Ford.
I hope so, Joe. If the funds allow it, yeah, definitely. And I mean, it just depends really on who we can get on board to help us out, and if the budget's there, and hopefully we'll be here next year again. Yeah.
Congratulations.